everybody. Welcome to the Shot Clock Podcast, episode 14 of season 1. First and foremost, I just want to say a big thank you to all our listeners, all our viewers. I don't know whether people have seen on our social media channels, but we were actually number one basketball podcast in Ireland for the last 30 days. There's probably about two of us out there. It's probably me and Mark Reynolds. But look, I'll take the win. So I just want to thank, first and foremost, my guests so far for having interesting stories and people tuning in to watch it, you know. And thank you to everybody who has tuned in to listen. Selfless plug here. We'll go. We're available on Apple Podcasts if you want to subscribe there. The YouTube channel if you want to subscribe there. And also Podbean if you want to subscribe there. Also, if you check out our bio on Instagram, it gives a link to everything available. Look, it's Thursday morning. Today's guest, it looks like I tried to emulate him when I did the interview with the little silver bit of beard, you know, and the black cap. He's my namesake. And there's, as I say at the start of the interview, there's not many of us out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Gerald Kennedy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Shot Clock Podcast with me, Gerald Jago. Today's guest has been around the league. Started off with the team I used to go and see on a Sunday with my parents, Road Speed Corinthians back in the day. Quick trip down to Cork, down to Tralee, back up the north. Some seasons with Mid Sutton Boys or Dublin Bay Vikings as they became. And then finishing up in Sligo, the head coach of Tolka Rovers for this coming season. Somebody who shares a name with me, and there's not many Geralds out there. Mr. Gerald Kennedy, welcome to the podcast. How are you, man?
Thank you guys for having me, man. Thanks, Jago. It's an honor to be here.
Look, it's an honor to have you here. Same question I start every week or every episode. How's COVID been treating you?
Same as everyone else, man. Like I said, all we can do is, you know, keep our head down, stay safe, and try to stay and be well. You know, it's not been good for anyone, but you know, I think what doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
Absolutely. So we're going to take it way back. We're going to take it back to, you know, where it all started for you. Who, what, or why inspired you to pick up a basketball for the first time?
I came from a very sporty family, so I got to see and hear a lot about greatness. And one of the first one I actually would have heard of was this guy called Lou Alcindor, which is known as
Kareem
none other than
Abdul-Jabbar.
The man. So that sort of set those things in motion. You know, I got to watch, you know, I followed him in the Bucks back in the days with Oscar Robertson, but the guy that sort of, you know, took my breath away, made me say, like, this is definitely what I want to do, and that was Dr. J, no other. You know, it was just he just took it to another level for us. Like, you know, the man that he was on, the player that he was on the court, but the man that was off the court, he was mind blowing. You just didn't see that kind of figure, you know, each and every, just to come around. You know, he inspired a generation, you know, and still seems to be inspiring through others, being if it's Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. It all fits, you know. So those are the two guys, if I had to say, other than my dad, that got me into sports. But they were the guys that sort of set a tone for me.
Excellent. I'm just going to put it out there now because we've spoken off camera about this. It was my Sunday afternoons in the Obla Hall watching you and Darren McGuinness and Mick Staunton, and after that Laverne, a young Mark Keenan. That really gave me the bug for basketball. You know what I mean? All those years ago, and here it's amazing for me to be able to sit opposite you today and just have this conversation. Somebody I used to pay in to watch is now sitting here on my podcast. It's mind blowing.
Oh, wow.
So as I said, you've played with a couple of teams around the league. Who was your favorite teammate and why? And I know that's going to be a tough one for you.
Wow. I'll play this. You know, I'm going to be as diplomatic about it as possible, but I'm also going to be very truthful about it as well. No matter where I laid my hat, no matter where I bounced the ball, every teammate I cherish. No one more than the other. You know, because like I said, that's what it takes to win. But you know, I've made some really good friends here. You know, I can go from Pat O'Shea's to the Gareth McGuire's to yourself. I mean, like the list would go on. So as I said, I'll be as diplomatic about it as I possibly can, and just say, like, listen, I am a baller, and if you're balling, we're in the same court, in the same building, the same atmosphere. So everyone's my favorite.
Very, very diplomatic. You may have a career in politics, Gerald, if the whole basketball thing doesn't work out for you. Look, you can't do any worse than our friend Trump did for the last 4 years. So look, we'll leave it at that. So for me, the era you played in was the golden age of Irish basketball. You know, like the talent, the support, everything about it was just on a different level. And it's a level that I don't think today's players or coaches, you know, truly understand. So you came up against some of the greats over here, but who was the toughest person you've had to guard while playing over here? And then on the flip side, who was the person you hated guarding you during those games?
The toughest person I say that I had to guard, because I was a guard coming out of college and learning how to play the post when I got here. The hardest person for me to guard was probably a guy named Ray Smith and Kenny Perkins. And that without a doubt, you know, I learned a lot from them. You know, like I said, being a guard and having to play in the post when I got here, you know, it just gave it all around the game. You know, it made me an all around better player, and I learned a lot. I couldn't have learned more from those guys in the post than anyone. And you know, as far as being big man, and if I had to say who was the hardest to guard and to sort of tangle with as a man, it was probably be Calvin Troy. Yeah, because again, a beast. The other guys, they were just massive. Calvin was massive, but very intelligent, but also just very strong. Because, like I said, Calvin's probably an inch smaller than I am, and that's where he invited him. So that's where he won all his battles in the post. Calvin tell you, you know, I like guarding the big boys. So,
I've heard him say that. I've heard him say that many times.
You know, yeah, he's a physical. He likes that physicality of the game. You know,
it was that big barrel chest, Gerald. It was that big chest when he used to just push up against you. That was it.
Yeah. So it'll be those three guys. You know, the two boys from the post, and it's Calvin just being a defensive expert that he was. You know, he made you better. Or either that you like I say, you either gonna get better or you just want to play. But he made me a better player.
That's a sign of greatness.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Ray playing down in Cork at that stage? Ray was down with Burgerland?
Ray would have been in Cork. My first year, Ray would have been in Cork. He would have played, him. It would have been him and who was he with Ray?
Jasper was down there.
No, Jasper was down. No, Ray was with, it wasn't Terry, because Terry was up here and he was playing with Jameson at the time.
Sue Campbell.
Oh, I can't think of him now. I just can't.
I've gone blank as well.
Definitely was, yeah.
And Kenny Perkins Sr., obviously, father of Kenny Perkins, NBA analyst.
This is it. And you know what's funny about that? You know, I sit and I watch Big Kendrick almost daily because he's on there quite a bit. You know, even on the shows, I'm sitting there watching telly at the moment, and just looking at him, watching him is like watching his dad, because they're the spitting image of each other. You know, in every way, the way he played, his body, the language of his body, everything he sort of did was. You just looking at him and say, "Man, how can you not know that's not Kenny Perkins' son?" I mean, he's spitting in each other.
And look, he's on, as you said, he's on every single show. Like, he's doing so well for himself. You know,
he's doing great.
I love listening to him because he's as honest as the day is long.
Him and Barkley, I can listen to all day.
Yeah,
because they truly are. They don't speak from the heart. They just speak. They speak the game, and they try to be real about it. You know, and they're not sugarcoating anything. And some people don't like it, but listen, for ones that do like it, they'll learn from it.
Absolutely. So, any superstitions? What was Gerald Kennedy's pre-game routine, or had you a superstition, left shoe first? You know, whatever it was.
I always tie. It was always my right shoe first, and they would always be unlaced before I would play games. So I would always I would lace them underneath and back through, underneath and back, over and through. And all the ones that were coming from the inside underneath, the outside one had to be on top of them. So if you understand where I'm coming from. So yeah, I know it sounds weird, but I had to do it every game. Every game. Yeah.
Those are big things.
And if I didn't do that, if I didn't do it, I could be, like I said, I don't believe in superstition, but if you have them, it's best to do them. And I always, like I said, no bad things ever came out of it, so evidently I was doing the right thing.
It is. It's one of those things, and your list gets longer as your career goes on. It's amazing. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I have to touch this, eat this, drink this. I can't listen to that song.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So, what were your favorite shoes to play in? If you could call up whatever company and ask them for, this shoe for the rest of your life, what's your go-to shoe?
Well, anything at this point now, Jordan, anything. But, I would have grown up playing in like Converse. Nike would have been just kind of, trying to make that brand when we were in college, things like that. So if I had to say anything at the moment, and it's my life brand, it would have to be something Nike, and it'd probably be Air Force Ones.
You can't beat them.
Yeah.
You can't beat a nice fresh pair of Air Force Ones.
There you go.
So, like we said, you grew up in an era where basketball here was just different. Players were different,
Yeah.
I suppose it had a lot to do with, we were the first country once you left America that spoke English. We were the first stop. So, why not come here? Why not?
That's how right you said it to me.
Yeah, that was the selling point. Look, we all speak English. It's a little bit cold, but hey, look, you'll get used to it.
Yeah,
it's you and 4 others going to a pickup game. Guys you played with or guys you played against. Who are we taking to the gym? It's winner stays on. It's Gerald Kennedy plus 4. Who are the 4?
Oh. Okay, my first pick is I'm gonna pick Calvin Troy.
Okay.
He'll be my power. He'll be my power forward. Then I'm going to take, of course, MJ's got to be MJ. I'll put it at one of the guard spots.
Only Irish player. Only players you played with or against?
Oh,
we're putting rules in.
Only in Ireland.
Only in Ireland. Only in Ireland.
Okay.
No flexing about your time in college.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I have to go with my teammate from when I first got here. Then Ryan Tuck would play with me at Road Speed. Ryan Tuck, definitely, I would say with him. Me and him in the backcourt. Then we go with Calvin Troy, Kenny Perkins.
One more.
And Ray Smith.
Oh, that's a solid 5. That's you're gonna get some wins there.
I would think we would.
So
you could pick so many. Even I left my man out, Mario for one. It's just us.
Yeah,
but
people forget about Mario. Like Mario came over here with Colester milk toppers at the time.
My first year, we came over our first year together. I was at Corinthians and with Road Speed, and he was with Colester. We came in the same, and he actually came in 2 months after I got here because I think Drone would have been playing with Colester at the time with Calvin.
Yep.
And if Calvin would tell you, I scored something like 52, I think, on Colester that weekend. And they bought Mario in the following week.
Nice. Jerome ended up coaching that year, didn't he? The second part of the season.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Look, Irish basketball it's just ingrained in me. I don't know what it is.
You know your stuff, Jacob. You know it.
So this is where we shift lane a little bit, and I think this question is going to be right up your alley. And I'm kind of hoping that one of the shouts goes to your very talented daughter, Miss Erica Cody. Top 5 musical artists of all time.
Of all time.
Who's Gerald Kennedy listening to?
Actually, my baby girl would tell you, I listen to everyone. And I'm telling you, I just have an ear for music. I love music. And as Erica, she'll tell you how she grew up with it. If I'm going to throw out Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Prince, Luther, and again, I got baby girl comes. She's on that list. But
absolutely.
She's on that list. But then but if I had to name those 5, then Sam Cooke would be my 5th.
Beautiful. It's funny. I'm gonna be politically correct here. Mm-hmm. So of all the guests I've interviewed, mm-hmm. the gentlemen of a certain era, that's all I'm gonna say, have picked Luther Vandross every single time. I'm not going to say what era. I'm just going to say of a certain era.
Really?
Yeah. Mr. Randall Mount said to me yesterday, you got to pick Luther for when you're dating.
Oh yeah. Of course. What do you think? Of course, man. You got to be on that list. I can't see anyone. If you ever heard of him, I can't see how you can't have him on your list.
Exactly. Look, that's a solid 5. Mm-hmm. So moving on from that, you're the DJ. What 3 songs are we warming up to before tip off?
Again, like I said, there's just so much out there. If I'm going with me, I'm gonna go how I grew up. I don't know if you ever heard of a group. You ever heard of George Clinton?
Of course, I've heard of George Clinton.
well, he used to be one of the headliners for this group called Parliament Funkadelics. And in high school, anything that they came out with, the 4 years I played in high school, it was always something to them. So I just don't think you can miss with having a good old Parliament Funkadelics kind of reunion for us, like putting some music, because it's all about the beat, man, and the rhythm.
It's gonna get you going.
That's it. I can go with a lot of the younger stuff as well, man. But I'm just saying, I just don't know about that one. I'm just gonna stick with what I kind of grew up with, and get it done with Parliament. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Parliament.
Three Parliament numbers, and that's it. We're going to the bench. We're ready to go.
That's it. I can throw some Queen in there. I can throw a Queen number in there as well, because I came out on some of those songs as well.
Well, we Will Rock You was the big one in Inchicore when I used to go and play. That place would be shaking.
Yep.
Dust coming off the lights.
That, as I told you, I can give you 2 of them. We Will Rock You and Eye of the Tiger. Those are the 2 right there.
Yeah.
So those are anthems for a warm up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And anybody who's sitting there going like, what genre of music that is? Just listen to it and feel the beat of me. That's what we're talking about, hype songs now, right? So there we go.
Perfect 3. So, what advice would you give to a 16-year-old Gerald Kennedy if he was sitting down in front of you right now, knowing what you know?
Never accepting that you can't train. There's always something to do. You don't need a basket to train. You don't need lines to run between. All you have to have is an imagination, because that's what the game is all about, man. You dreaming and getting better, and the only way you do that is by training. So never say that you can't get out and train today. I can't do this. I can't do it, because there's always some kind of little space in your area that you can actually do that. It's always train.
Yeah, I'll take that advice. Absolutely. So, second last question, which I don't know how we've got here so quickly, because look, I could talk to you all day. Dead or alive, 5 dinner guests you'd invite to your house for dinner, and it can be friend, family, or famous. Dead or alive, who's sitting down for dinner tomorrow night when restrictions lift?
Number 1, my mom.
Nice.
Number 2, MLK. I would have loved to meet him. Both my grandfathers. Never got a chance to meet either one of my grandfathers. They were both deceased by the time I was born. And John Thompson. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a solid table.
Yeah. I just think you can gain a lot from that table. I think it covers kind of all aspects of life.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that would be my 5, most definitely.
So next question: are we cooking? Are we ordering in? And what are we having?
I love my cooking magic. I love her cooking. So definitely cooking. And the thing about it, I think I would like to do something with some kind of chicken, right? But as we're doing it, like I said, we're doing it as a group. You know, every one of us would bring a piece of something that we do well. You know, so I would definitely do some kind of fish dish, and then the rest I knew what my mom would do. You know, she just thinks everything's my favorite. Any of her desserts, like pecan pies to sweet potato pies, to potato salad, stuffing. We can just go down the line, right? So let her kind of throw in whatever she wants, and then getting those other 3 guys, my grandfathers and my, John Thompson and MLK, just getting them sort of, give me some of their flavor, show me a bit of their personality in their cooking.
Amazing. Well, what an amazing table, and what a great way of bringing everybody together. You know what I mean? That's, excellent. Love it. So before we ask the last question, I'm just going to say again, Gerald, I really appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I know you got the young fella running around and homeschooling and all of that jazz,
Yes.
But from me and a generation of players, I want to thank you for all you've done for me as a player. Like I said to you off camera, you were always a guy I could go and talk to from the time I was a kid. You're still the guy I can pick up a phone to or a Zoom call. You're so accessible. I'm really looking forward to seeing you coach with Tolka next year when the season gets going. I'm going to go out and take in the game, just to physically see it again. You know what I mean?
It's always next thing. Anytime I see you, Drake, a smile comes to my face, and I think you see that.
Because I can't stop smiling right now. Like it's it's one of those calls. It's like I said, it's family. Basketball's family, and it's great to have like a big brother to look up to.
Thank you very much.
I won't say dad. I'll go big brother.
Listen, all of it fits. Because
look, it's true. It's true. But look, last question: who would you like to see on the podcast?
Who would I like to see? Has Calvin been there yet?
No.
That's because I just think he does great interviews, man. I think again, he's so knowledgeable, and again, he's so approachable. He's just a gentle giant, man. Like I said, Calvin, around all these dudes that are still living here, are just brilliant. From the likes of, if you can't get Calvin, you should try Ken Black.
You're the second person to say Ken.
Yeah.
You're the second person to say Ken, yeah.
And I would have, to be honest, I would have said him first, but I just know how shy, not even that he's camera shy, but sometimes Ken, I'm not doing that, I'm the old one here. I'm the guy, I'm still, so I'm sitting, but it's so either one of those two, man. And even getting on at the same time, that would be brilliant.
Oh, amazing. Imagine. Look, I wouldn't need to be here if the two of those guys were there. I could just step back. I could just step back. Gerald, I appreciate your time.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for doing this for me. And look, we'll talk soon.
Peace.
So, there you have it. The Gerald Kennedy interview. Such a great guy. And look, head over to his fantastically talented daughter's page, Erica Cody. Check her out on Spotify. She's everywhere at the minute. Dove ambassador, Volkswagen ambassador. I think Dyson even sent her a Hoover. Like unbelievable the work that she's doing. What a voice, what a talent. And then when you're finished checking Erica out, come on over to the podcast's Spotify playlist. Gerald's warm-up songs are going to be there. The link is in our bio. And get voting. It's Team Scally again. Will these ladies ever leave the court? It's a solid 5. Don't get me wrong. Dana Finn, Claire Rockall, Suzanne McGuire, Emer Howard, and Elaine Scally, as she keeps telling me, just hanging out by the 3-point line. Will anybody ever beat these women? Get over there. Get voting on our Instagram story. And until next time, this is Jago saying, I'll see you on the court soon.